Imagine waking up tomorrow with no bank account, no paycheck, no internet, and no companies to work for. How would you survive? Now imagine that this wasn't a nightmare. It was everyday life 1,000 years ago. So how did people actually make a living? And who became rich in a world without modern jobs? Let's find out. About 1,000 years ago, around the year 1026, most people didn't have what we would call a job. There were no offices, no resumes, and no monthly paychecks. Instead, your work was usually decided the day you were born. If your parents were farmers, you became a farmer. If your father was a blacksmith, chances are you learned the same trade. Changing professions was rare, and social mobility was limited. The vast majority of people worked on the land. Farmers grew wheat, barley, oats, vegetables, and raised animals such as cows, sheep, chickens, and pigs. Many families produced almost everything they needed themselves. If the harvest was good, they had enough food to survive, and sometimes a little extra to trade. If it failed, hunger could follow. For many people, survival depended on the weather. Coins existed, but many ordinary people rarely used them. Instead, communities often relied on barter. A farmer might exchange grain for shoes, a shepherd could trade wool for tools, a potter might receive food instead of coins. Goods and services often mattered more than cash. Not everyone worked in the fields. Blacksmiths forged tools, horseshoes, and weapons. Carpenters built houses, carts, and furniture. Millers ground grain into flour. Weavers turned wool into cloth. These skilled workers earned a living by providing services that everyone needed. The better their reputation, the more customers they attracted. Some people earned money through trade. Merchants traveled between villages, towns, and even across continents. They sold spices, silk, salt, wine, metal, and countless other goods. Long-distance trade was dangerous. Bandits, storms, disease, and war could destroy an entire business overnight, but successful merchants could become extremely wealthy. Owning land was one of the greatest sources of wealth. Kings, nobles, and large landowners often didn't work the fields themselves. Instead, they collected rent, taxes, or a share of the harvest from the people living on their land. The more land someone controlled, the richer they usually became. Monasteries. Monasteries were not only religious centers. Many produced food, brewed beer, copied books by hand, cared for animals, and managed large farms. Some became powerful economic institutions, employing workers and trading their products. Even 1,000 years ago, people enjoyed entertainment. Traveling musicians, storytellers, actors, and jesters performed at markets, festivals, and noble courts. They earned food, coins, clothing, or a place to sleep in exchange for their performances. Life was usually much harder than it is today. Most people worked from sunrise until sunset, especially during planting and harvest seasons. Medical care was limited. Crop failures could lead to famine. Life expectancy was much shorter than it is today. Still, people built strong communities, relied on family, and developed skills that were essential for survival. The world looked completely different 1,000 years ago. People didn't earn salaries. Instead, they survived through farming, craftsmanship, trade, and the resources available around them. Money existed, but knowledge, land, practical skills, and strong relationships were often even more valuable. It's a reminder that while technology has transformed the way we work, the basic human goal has remained the same for thousands of years: finding a way to provide for ourselves and our families. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more fascinating stories from history.